Good morning. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a rocking morning. Welcome to the Profit Lab podcast. I am your host, Marie Torossian. I'm a CFO, an auditor, and CPA, and a certified charter goal management accountant. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit distracted this morning. I have some technical issues happening on my end. I serve entrepreneurs and business owners through my CPA firm, Marie Torossian CPA, and my management consulting company, the Profit Lab, which is why we're here. The Profit Lab podcast serves to expand our mission to empower entrepreneurs by bringing their stories to the masses. We are thrilled to tell your story to inspire, empower, and uplift other entrepreneurs. So check out our website, www.theprofitlab.biz/podcast, to follow all of the podcasts that we're doing. So we launched our podcast on August 2nd, where I spoke about my entrepreneurial journey and shared some of the valuable takeaways that I felt from my experiences. Those are about 7 of them. And every week we're going to be inviting guests, other entrepreneurs, and they're going to share 3 of their takeaways from their experiences so far as entrepreneurs. So with that, make sure to, of course, follow us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and also on Facebook. The YouTube is Marie Torossian CPA. On Facebook, it's at the Profit Lab Biz, because there's some other the Profit Labs as well. And then on LinkedIn, it's also Marie Torossian CPA. So with that, today is August 16. It is our 3rd episode. And my guest today is Joshua Hongkou. He's the founder of Hongcun Enterprises. And there's so much he's going to tell you guys. Joshua is a sales professional with over 10 years of experience in diverse selling styles. His expertise ranges in selling seeds on the road, then selling cars in retail stores, and then selling meats door to door. I mean, this is crazy. Door to door is, I've done it. He started Hongcun Enterprises as him and his family established their new beginnings. And I am going to let him tell the rest of the story. And with that, Joshua, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and we are so thrilled to have you and to tell your story. And Joshua, we've known each other for a while, but for our guests to really get to know you, the person, why don't you tell us about yourself? Just a little backstory of who you are.
Well, we moved. My family and I moved from Canada to the USA last year, which is obviously, it's been a year since I've met you, by the way. Because we landed August 13th of last year in the USA. So we're originally from Canada. We have 5 children, 1 American baby. No, I'm not really a very interesting person. I just thought that there was a lot of opportunity here to come to the USA and start a business. It's still the land of opportunity, right? So
True.
So yeah, there's not really anything special about anything interesting per se about me.
So what made you think of as Hongcun Enterprises, and let's get into the story of like what motivated you to start the business. Of course there's great opportunities here in the US, and it's a big move to come from Canada. I lived in Montreal, Canada for about 3 years before I moved to the US as well. But the reason was my husband. So what made you make that move? And then of course, why did you start that? Why start a business and not just find another job, let's say? What motivated you?
Well, I have several acquaintances in Canada that own dog food businesses. And in Canada, there's a very good market for it. In the USA, there's also a very good market for it. I love dogs. I have a dog. That's number one, I would say. But there's so many dogs right now that are eating dry dog food. A lot of it's very,
True.
very unhealthy. But statistically, there's more dogs than there is households in the USA. And so there's a lot of dogs right now that are eating kibble, dry dog
Yes.
food. So I
Yes.
thought, why wouldn't we put something together, a very nice quality product that a dog actually enjoys? I had a dog in Canada,
Hmm.
and I fed it dry food at the time, and she didn't eat much, and I could never figure out really why, just because I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge, but I couldn't really ever, figure out what it was that was keeping her from eating. And it just turns out that I think most dogs don't like kibble. I've had a customer come up to me and say, our dog is shy when it comes to food. We always have to bring her back to the bowl, that kind of thing.
Oh.
So I gave her a sample, and the dog ate the sample, picked up the bowl, brought it back to her mom, and said, "Give me more." So, um,
I want more.
yeah, so there was definitely opportunity, and I think a lot of people are not aware of of what they're what they're feeding their dogs currently, and yeah, there's opportunity to improve the lifestyles of dogs as far as their health is concerned. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that's amazing, and I think you've built such great knowledge on the dog food. I know we were working together on the business plan. That was one of the things I was learning from you, because I actually don't have a dog, even though I have a general knowledge about dogs and dog food,
we'll
very
have to
high
change
level. But
that. I'll, when I
that
come to
was
Florida, I'll get you a dog.
yeah, my kids will have so much fun. Um, yeah, and so I learned a lot from you on how you're putting so much attention on the quality of the dog food that you are making. So can you tell us a little bit more about I guess without telling all the secrets of but how much time and effort it takes, and the nutrition and all that stuff that you're planning, that you're putting into that food.
Well, I would say so. It's been about a year, really, of research and development. Um, it's been, coming into it, I didn't have even remotely close to the amount of knowledge that I have now.
True.
When
Research.
it's unbelievable what's all involved. But I don't think I'd be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for the people that are involved. Well, we
True.
started off, as you know, with a business plan that I think was well, a massive business plan. But you know what was nice about that business plan was we made it with real numbers, real figures, that kind of thing. We had goals to work towards, as
Right.
far as the financial end of things, where we want it to be. We've kind of exceeded those goals, by the way, because our launch is technically still for this coming September, but
Hmm.
we've already launched. But
Right.
um, one of the other things that I've done, that I think is hugely beneficial is, we hired probably one of the best nutritionists in the USA. So she has huge experience when it comes to dog nutrition. She's been in the vet industry for a long time, and she's spent a lot of years in school learning about all these things. And she has formulated some unbelievable recipes for us. Where it was a little bit tough was trying to figure out how we're going to, like, how do we bring in the product, the raw material, the production end of things was a bit tough, but
True.
it wasn't impossible. It was just a matter of trial and error. And
Yes.
I think we got there. I traveled around a little bit, visited different people, talked to a lot of people, and so yeah, it's ongoing. I don't think that's ever going to end, because
No.
our goal obviously is to constantly expand. So things will always change. We're going to be adding new recipes. We've just done that. We haven't even produced it yet or put it on our website, but there's new recipes that are coming out. And yeah, here's another one, Marie. um, I'm not the greatest when it comes to paperwork. That's not, as you mentioned at the beginning, I love sales is my thing. I like sales, right? But I don't like doing the administrative end of things. So I needed somebody to take care of that for me. And obviously you're doing my taxes for me, all my accounting.
We're
I
proud to
have,
do that.
yeah, thank you very much for that, because that's out of my league. I would not be able to, I don't think I'd be able to do it anyway in compliance anyway. Um, and um, Inventory is a big deal. That's a huge one.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks to you again, we've got the inventory app now. I've got somebody managing our inventory for us, so we've got everything down, measured right down to the ounce.
We're not making mistakes.
No, we're not.
We're gonna have figures for everything.
Say that again.
We're gonna have figures for everything.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So no, it's every aspect of the business has its own set of challenges, but I just kind of focus on the ones that I'm good at and delegate the ones that I'm not good at.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, so right now, what are when you were looking at, let's say, customer, who are the customers? Are you planning on, let's say, your customers are like businesses, or are they mostly like the consumer, the direct to consumer?
So it's kind of interesting. We have a bit of unique market in that sense. I mean, twofold. We have literally anybody who owns a dog is our market. We have no, we will sell to everyone. So basically every single human in the United States of America, with the exception of yourself, because you don't.
I need a
puppy. But so we have what we've created is a generalized dog food. It meets AFCO standards. And it's for all breeds of all life stages. So that's that's what we have on our labeling. That's what we have in the packages.
Understood.
That's what I talked about with Samantha, who is our nutritionist, and so that's why we've put together what we have, because we want to be able to. We want every single dog that we come in contact with to be able to eat our food.
Yes.
And when I say our food, I mean their food. Even though the food that we use, if you're going to the grocery store, the produce that you're buying or the meat that you're buying, there's a pretty good likelihood that that same meat and produce is what's in our dog food. So it is human grade food. And so, we have a big emphasis on health. But where we come in a little bit uniquely is when somebody has a pet with a veterinary diagnosed problem. Like, let's say they have, stiff joints, or, they're a little bit of an older dog. They have a hard time getting up from their mat or whatever. Things like that. We want to be able to formulate specialized meals for the individual dog.
Wow.
Yeah. So that
is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't think there's anything out there like that right now. So we do nutrition consultations, and we will put together a meal that will benefit whatever it is that your dog is dealing with, and we like to stick with veterinary diagnosed issues, so that way we have something that's solid to work from.
Right.
But yeah, that's basically where we set ourselves apart. And then obviously, without, like you said, without getting into too much detail, the recipes that we have are, nobody else on the market has the recipes that we have. There just isn't another company that has them, and we have unique ingredients that I think will solve a massive amount of digestive issues in dogs across the country. So we're all about that. This company is not just about providing dog food to dogs. It's about making the best dog food there is, and being able to provide benefit to the customer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That was one of the things, like, the way I work with clients as well is like, I'm impressed, and I get, affected by the impact they're trying to make. And I always like to be part of that great impact. So it's exciting to work, with you and be part of that impact. So I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love
Well,
it.
I wouldn't be here without you, Marie. I wouldn't. It's I don't know how. I can't even really remember how I met you because you're all the way down in Miami, but I'm glad I did because pretty much everybody I work with was referred to me by you. So
I
um,
always try to help and
yeah,
bring in my network of other professionals.
yes,
I love it. I love it. So I'm running your website on the banner below, and I'm hoping I have no spelling mistakes.
no, you don't.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay. Just for those who are listening and they won't be able to see the banners, just a shout out there. Make sure to check out Joshua's company website, www.hongcoop sorry, with the E, don't forget, it's hongcooptmeals.com. So HONCOOPETMEALS.com. I just wanted to spell it out because for those who are just listening on audio, they won't be able to see it. You can also follow Joshua's company page on Instagram, which is homecoop_pet_food. So this is very exciting. I'm so happy to have you here, Joshua, and telling your story to other entrepreneurs. So you have mentioned some of the challenges, in a way that you've had. Any other challenges coming into the U.S. or starting the business that you faced, that you could share with the rest of the entrepreneurs listening to us today?
Well, I think it's relatively, individual because not every entrepreneur is going to be coming from a different country.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
and so that was, that part was definitely tough as far as I had zero knowledge of any of the tax laws, any local laws or anything. I had zero knowledge of anything when I came here. When it
Right.
came to the the rules, because they're all different here than they are in Canada. And so I think that's a lot of that challenge has been overcome now because, we've got the right things in place and we've got everything kind of sorted out that way. I'm sure there's still things that I'm going to be learning in as things move along. But um, again, a lot of the challenges that I faced were in administrative
Mm,
things, getting, I think the largest challenge is just getting everything set up.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
you have so many different items within one business to plan, which I never really saw them as being roadblocks. Um, I just saw them as hurdles. You come up to the hurdle and then you have to figure out a way, how do you get over that hurdle to
Sure.
carry on?
Yes.
So those are, it's all in literally every aspect of the business. I think there's a challenge. It was, when we've first I had to find a nutritionist. Then I
Right.
had to figure out, how am I going to package these meals? How am I going to make these meals? Um, you know, everything. How am I going to cook these meals? How am I going to label the meals?
Right.
Who's going to make the labels for me? Like it's
Right. Right. You
all
have
of
to
these things.
little things.
Yeah, and that's just in the package alone. That's in 1 pound. And there's so many different things that you have to figure out when you're starting with a business. But you know it's not discouraging, it's just constant. So if you can understand that all of these things you have to continue to plan, and you might have one small item that requires 10 different stages of planning. It doesn't matter as long as you get through that planning.
Right.
So, and we've dealt with that with everything. It's like, how do I, when I have do I start out with 2 freezers? Well, that's what I did. I bought 2 chest freezers, 2 6-foot chest freezers, and I now have 8, and I'm getting 2 more. So now I'm thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? Because pretty soon my entire shop's gonna be full of freezers.
Right.
So now I'm looking at, okay, do I get a walk-in freezer? And I think those things will just continue to present themselves, those challenges, as you
Absolutely.
say, they'll just
Yes.
continue to present themselves as time goes on. And every time a new challenge comes up, it's just another thing you have to figure out, and it's not really a big deal. You just figure it out and carry on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree
that's the
with
way I
you.
see it. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. With with every business, at every stage, you're going to have different kinds of problems, and the problems are only going to get bigger. So if you don't know how to
yeah,
figure out the solving the problems when they're still at a smaller stage, you're never going to learn to fix and the bigger problems, right?
yeah,
So
that's right.
that
They're challenges. They're not problems.
challenges,
Yeah,
challenges.
I had a
Um,
manager always said that to me. I'd come to his office and say, I've got a problem or whatever. He's like, no, no, there's no problem. There's just a challenge.
it's a challenge. Yeah, I
So
like it.
yeah,
A little roadblock. We just got to jump over it.
that's exactly right. Yeah,
No, I like that. I like that, transferring that. Just take one little word and it makes all the difference sometimes, right? The way you envision it.
and the other thing is, I think for myself anyway, it's not a good idea for me to try to tackle a challenge that I am not skilled at.
Hmm.
I mentioned that earlier a little bit, but if I have, if I'm not skilled at payroll, for example, or deductions and all these things and also not very knowledgeable on it. Again, that's the me being new in the USA, but it could be payroll, it could be inventory, it could be anything, any administrative work. Say for myself, that's not what my thing is. That's your thing. You like to do the paperwork part of things. I have a bookkeeper who likes to do that. She loves doing it. She puts it all together, she organizes it all nicely, and I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand how you enjoy doing that, but everybody's different. I like to go out, I like to
Yes.
talk to people. um Everything's taken care of here. I'm going to Nashville this afternoon to go to
All
talk to
right.
people because that's what I
Yes.
do best. So
Yes.
so that's another way that I just kind of I get around issues that I face myself. Is if I don't feel that I'm capable of doing them, or I don't feel that I'll be able to do that job in a proper way, then I
Right.
will just find somebody who is capable of doing it and who's able to help me make sure all of those things, because they have to be done whether you
Absolutely.
like them or not. So I just find somebody else who enjoys doing that type of work. My bookkeeper, she really doesn't like to talk to people at all. I said to her, "You should get out there and try to sell." She was like, "No, no, 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 right away." Um, so that's just everybody's different character, and some people are good at some things, other people are good at other things, and if you can accept that, I think it'll make your life a lot easier right off the hop. Trying to do
Absolutely.
everything at once. You can't do everything at once either. That's the other side of it. Like, I would be here 24 hours a day. I'd get zero
Right.
sleep. So
Yeah. I mean, God gave each of us our unique talents is for a reason, right? So,
exactly.
absolutely, absolutely. Interesting something you said, and I've noticed that working with you versus some other people here in the U.S. is that you from the beginning you've always said there's certain things I just don't like to do, and I'm just going to hire people. And here in the U.S. there's always been that do it yourself kind of like mentality, do it yourself, but then you burn yourself out because you're really not good at everything. It's impossible to be good at everything.
Yeah.
So have you noticed that kind of mentality, the differences between Canada and here, or is it just you?
I think I think it's just me, because in Canada, it's that way too. Um, I don't know. It's just my mindset. I think there are some
Got
people
it.
that want to be able to tackle it right, everything themselves, and I kind of understand it in one sense, because one of the reasons why a lot of people want to just run the entire business, every single aspect of the business on their own, is because there's this idea that maybe you can save a little bit of money by doing everything on your own. And I guess there's some truth to it, but the other side of it is you can't expand nearly as quickly if you have to
Absolutely.
focus on everything at once. If I can
Absolutely.
focus on expansion, so I run into an issue, I say, okay, this has nothing to do with expansion, delegate it.
Right.
Um, you know, so I think I I believe that my mentality is the more
Is the
advantageous one.
scalability.
Yeah, because it
Yes.
allows the business to grow faster.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're
So
right. You're right. And I asked that question on purpose because I have noticed that I work with certain people that they are doing everything. I started my business, 2020, and already I hired my first person like within the first 10 months, and then I hired another person, the following year. So I started adding people where I could delegate certain work, so that, let's say, for example, I'm trying to market more, doing these shows. It's part of my marketing and
yeah,
expansion ideas, right? And I bump into people where it's so difficult just to explain what we do because they just want to do it themselves. So it's
right.
interesting, what you're saying, and I wanted to bring that up because I don't want it to sound always coming out from me.
No, it's worth it. It. So so this afternoon, I'm going to Nashville, which is three
Mhm.
hours from where I am. I'm in southwestern Kentucky, and I'm going to meet a new hire as of tomorrow. So I'm going to stop at a few businesses today. I'm going to go meet a new hire salesperson tomorrow,
Awesome.
and we're going to go
Awesome.
visit a few businesses there. Thursday again. It's like if I was running everything here, there's no way I could do that because
Wow.
I have vegetables that need to be ordered. I have meat that needs to be ordered. We have
Right.
recipes that we're making. I have people that are coming in that come into the shop. Um, in the morning, they put recipes together. They label it. They know how to cook it. Everything. I've shown them how to do it. If there's something that needs to be ordered, our inventory app tells us it needs to be ordered. The
Awesome.
book, I call her the bookkeeper, but she's basically everything paper related.
Paper.
Does
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
administrator. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
correct. Yeah, so she orders. I don't have to worry about an order not being fulfilled
Place.
because
Yeah.
she'll see it, she'll order it, she doesn't have to tell me about it. If I have
Right.
mail that comes in, she opens the mail, she pays the bills. It's literally everything is taken care of here so that I can leave. And
Absolutely.
that's the goal because if I can't leave, we can't put our product into stores. We can't I can't hire new salespeople because there's no way I'm attached to this place.
Mhm.
So, and like I said, that's my thing is to go out and sell. I love to sell, and and to be able to put more people on the road and expand the business. So if that's what I feel that I'm good at, then that's what I'm going to focus on the most.
Right.
And I
Absolutely.
think everybody should do that because your business, I hope, will grow faster.
It would.
Um,
It actually would. It would. And here's another an extended question on that one because, and I know you being a sales professional, you kind of understand that that top line is the most important thing because if that's not growing, the rest of the business is not going to be able to do nothing. You know.
right.
But there's other people that they start businesses and they don't have that experience. So as we're kind of coming to a kind of a wrap up, maybe this could be one of the recommendations. What would you recommend someone who maybe does not have your type of skill set? Their skill set is not to go out and speak. So what would be a recommendation to them? That would be one of your recommendations.
Yeah. Do not go out and speak. Um, no. What I would say as I mean, if somebody has different, if somebody has a different ability, then I would say focus on what your ability is. You
Mhm.
know, if sales is not your thing, but it's required for your business, then find somebody who has the capability of running that department for you. You
Right,
know, making sure that new hires are being onboarded, um, running the sales department.
right, right. Absolutely.
Um, that's that's what I would say, and then you focus on what what you're an expert at.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the other thing I think that's huge is if you're in my case, we have a tangible product. It's not a service that we're offering.
Right.
Um, but if you make a product that you can believe in, or if you sell a product,
Love that.
if you're in our case, we're obviously a manufacturer, so we're actually formulating and producing the product. But if you're or if you, another scenario where you're say a retail store, you're buying things from manufacturers and selling it, make
Right.
sure that the product you have is something that you believe in, not that you make yourself believe in, but that you do believe in.
Right. Right.
Because I think I think that's more than half the battle. If you have a product that you know is a high quality product that you know is going to sell because of how it's made and what benefit it's going to have in our case for dogs, then uh, the product will sell itself. Then the sale becomes very easy, right?
True. True.
So yeah, that's a big one. Is make sure don't have a company or a product and then try to believe in it. Make sure that you have a product that you know
Yes,
that you can
and
believe in.
you're right. That kind of ties in with your whole mission, right? Because that's something when I started working with you, I could see your vision, I could see your mission. I knew exactly what you were going after. Like you were trying to
Yeah.
change the whole industry. I'm
Well,
like,
we were
change the
having an
whole.
argument, not an argument, but we were having a relatively uh the voice that our voices were my voice anyway was up about a few notches when we were on the phone. We had a three-way call. I don't know if you remember that. I was in Florida at the time and we were on with our I was on the phone with you, my business lawyer and my immigration lawyer. And
Yes.
my immigration lawyer was saying, Josh, I think that you should I think you should probably not do what you're planning on doing. I think that you should start a franchise, something that's a little bit more risk free. And so we were, I kind of explained what was going on, and then next thing you know, they were like, "Yeah, I think that you should just go ahead with your plans because it sounds like you know what you're doing, or you believe in what you're planning on doing." So,
Right.
and we did, and here we are. We got approved. The government said yes,
Yes.
you can stick around, and here we are. So that was that was a challenge right there, trying to figure
Yeah.
out if we should go ahead and do this business or buy into a franchise, right?
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. Awesome. This was great. And before we completely wrap up, I wanted to make sure that I read out the offer to that you're, giving out to all our viewers and listeners, so our viewers can see it. But just for our listeners, Joshua has a special offer to you guys. Call in your order for your dog, your special one, at 352-426-6326. So if you place your order, you receive a 20% off of your purchase. Just mention my name, Marie, as then that would be your discount code. Just make sure you call it in so you can get that offer. Again, the call-in number is 352-426-6326. And with that, Joshua, thank you so much for your time and sharing your story with us. I love it. Is there any last minute other words you'd like to impart with for our viewers and our listeners?
Not really. I think when it, the only thing that I would say is if you're going to get into starting your own business and going down your own path, make sure that you help yourself and don't let, because there is going to be times, of course, when you have a little bit of fear, don't let the fear make the decision for you because your business will fail. If
Yes.
if there's something that gives you that little bit of fear, as I call it, just push through it and carry on and ignore that part. And then I would also say this is a big one, and you can talk to Marie about this one, is formulate a clear plan. Because if you have a clear plan, then you know what you have to do. You can follow through with it. And we formulated the plan, like I said, to start in September. It was like September was sort of that's when our launch is, right? Well,
Yes.
it's not September yet, but we just went through the plan step by step, and
Right.
we've gotten to where we are now before the launch date. By the time we actually officially do a launch ceremony with the county here in Southwest Kentucky, I think we'll be well on our way, up and running already. So
Awesome.
just
Amazing.
yeah.
I'm so excited for you, and congratulations on launching your business and coming
Thank you.
this far already in such a short time. Really exciting, and you you have a great product, and I know anyone subscribing and ordering from you, their dogs are going to be so happy, and they're going to be great clients.
Coming
So
soon to a store near you.
yes, come down and
Absolutely.
see.
So
For
no,
all
thanks very much for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. And to all our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. Please remember to subscribe, follow, and like the pages that you are watching us on, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. And share, because this is information we want to get to more entrepreneurs. Is we know a lot of people are starting their own businesses these days. So together with these stories, we can empower each other through our experiences. And until the next episode, have a wonderful and blessed week.